One, two, three. Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Off the
Off the
Rails, a
Rails.
podcast where we talk about anything and everything while trying to stay on topic. I'm Justin,
And I'm Natasha.
and today's topic is relationships.
Mm,
Today we have a special guest who's been in many relationships. Ain't that right, buddy?
I wouldn't say that that's correct.
He's a returning guest, our first returnee. So, would you like to say your name?
Yeah, please
Introduce
please
yourself.
say your name, grade, how many relationships you've been in, and your relationship status right now.
Okay. My name is Hunter. I'm a returning, I guess, member on the podcast. I'm in 11th grade with these fools,
Okay.
and I have been in, I want to say, 3 pretty serious relationships, and I am currently involved in the relationship game.
Okay.
Involved in the relationship game.
Yes.
Okay. Well, just so all of our listeners know, me and Natasha, we're pretty experienced in not having any experience.
I think that makes us qualified to talk about this topic, doesn't it?
I mean, okay. I think that because we aren't in one, we see it from a different perspective.
Mhm.
Like we see all the issues.
That's like freshmen saying they belong on student council because they provide a new perspective because they haven't been in high school.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? But it's right. They're right.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Anyways,
So we're just gonna ask Hunter and like each other questions that listeners and Natasha and I have created. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, Natasha, you can ask the first question.
Okay. So, I mean, this isn't like when you're in a serious relationship, but like, is when you go on a first date with someone, like, is it super awkward? Like, I don't know.
I think the nature of the first date, it'll always probably be at least a little awkward because you're not familiar with the other person yet, and it's probably new ground for both of you. And so you normally spend the first date just trying to learn as much as you can about the other person. And so,
Like through questions.
yeah, through questions and through just chatting and
What's
I
your
mean,
favorite
actually,
color?
wait, I have a question about that. How long, like, obviously there's, like, you talk to someone for a little while and you're not, like, actually, like, formally seeing them. So, like, how long do you usually wait to ask them out?
it depends. Every relationship will be different, and there's always some sort of like conversation that goes before a relationship started, whether that's over text, which it is in a lot of cases, or it's like
For you, personally?
For you?
yeah,
Okay.
or it's just like talking at school or something like that. But there's a really big range. It can be anywhere from a couple of days to
Days.
Have
I'd
you
say
done
a
a
couple of
days?
months.
You have done a couple of days, haven't you?
no, but I know of people who have.
Okay.
So I'm
Mhm.
speaking on their behalf right now.
Okay, a couple of days. I don't know how long I would wait.
Would you ask anyone out, period, though?
Probably not.
But if
Right.
if you know the person
It's easier.
and you've been friends with them for a while and something just like maybe there's like a click or a spark or something like that, it could be a
A
couple of
spark.
days.
Love Island. Did you feel the spark? No. I personally am so scared to go on like in the future because it's definitely not happening anytime soon. But say like Natasha has like this friend, right? And she's like, Justin, you guys would be so cute together, right? And then we go on a blind date. I feel like that's the most awkward thing that could ever occur.
Like friends setting you up with
Yeah.
other friends. That's
Like, because you
weird.
have no idea who the person is.
Have you ever done that before?
I have not been on a blind date before. I feel like I don't know if I agree with the concept of the blind date because if you ask somebody out, you're shooting your shot and there's a chance you'll get rejected, but it's because you want to do it. If it's a blind date, it's kind of like you're just being dropped into the ocean and all these fish are around and you don't know which fish you're going to be put with. So maybe it could be right for you, but maybe it could just be a total disaster and then you may never want to see that person again. So
Okay, analogy.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. No, I just think no, like the first date, the questions of like asking like the basic questions like, oh, what do you do for fun? Like,
I don't know. I just feel like I get really bored, like, hearing about another person. I don't know.
I also think personally, I feel like I would rather I feel like it's easier if you're friends, like good friends beforehand.
I would agree with that.
Because honestly, I don't really care if you're just like a random person I just met. I'm more likely to care if I already know you. I don't know.
The thing that I would say though, relating to first dates, is you never want to take it to like a very serious level on your first date. You don't want to ask really deep personal
Like about
questions
kids.
because you don't yet know the person
Yeah.
as well as you probably should before you start asking about such as like their family or more about them and where they're like from and like if they've got any issues going on. You don't want to bring up any of those topics.
Do you have issues?
I feel like if somebody brings up issues on a first date, that is like kind of a red flag.
Yeah.
I know, but you could be talking about something and it's kind of like, well, what would you say your personality traits are like? And if they start to go into something that's more negative and you decide to jump on that, that could go south fast. It seems like common sense, but I feel like a lot of people don't have that sort of intuition to stop themselves if the conversation is going in that direction. So first date, just keep it light and fun.
Okay, light and fun, noted. But speaking of dates, who pays for dinners?
That depends who you are. There are a lot of different situations.
No, I know that there are a lot of different opinions on who should pay, but personally for you.
For me,
Or for
Why are you so like sheepish right now?
it's okay. Just the city thing. Like personally, I feel like it's we either split or whoever asks should pay.
I think
That's how I think.
I always want to pay. I have that like I'm probably gonna pay for this and I want to pay. If it's split, I don't really mind. If the other person decides that they want to pay, I'll like probably push back one or two times. But if they're like, really like, no, I want to pay this time, it'll be like, okay, yeah, sure, you can pay this time.
Okay.
Is that like for every time or just the first date?
For every time.
Oh, make his pockets hurt.
I think eventually though you've got to get to a point where it's not just one person paying every single time because that can be very draining, especially if the financial situation.
Financially draining,
Financially
literally.
draining.
Yeah.
What type of restaurants are you going to like for it to be financially draining though?
No, it's not like the kind of restaurants, but if you do,
Frequency.
let's say you do like $50 dates, that's not reasonable. It's a little bit on the cheap side, especially living in Singapore. But if you could do a $50 date and you do that once every other week and you're doing that for say a year, it's going to add up very quickly. Okay, say a $10 date, Justin.
McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's. You're going to McDonald's.
Sure.
But not every day will be a McDonald's date. There's going to be a time when you're going to
No,
want to go to a
every
fancy
day will
restaurant.
be a McDonald's day.
Every day is gonna have to be a McDonald's.
Yeah, we're on a budget.
I mean, there are free dates you can do in Singapore.
Love on a budget.
Free?
Yeah, like
Going to the park.
yeah, going to Botanic
Oh.
Gardens and just like doing a picnic there. Like
But
Well, picnic
buying
costs
the food
money.
costs money.
okay,
Who buys the food?
you can split it and you bring your own food. I don't know.
But Jesse, what do you think? Do you think you are down to split, or is it like the guy should pay?
I want to split usually.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it makes sense if the person who asks pays, which is why
I
I'll
feel
probably
like,
never
I
ask.
mean, my gut instinct is to want to split it with them. But if they, like the same thing, like you were saying, if they're like super adamant about wanting to pay for it, like I'll just be like, okay, it's fine. I guess you can sponsor my free food today.
I know there's girls who like not refuse, but would rather the guy pay for everything, which is kind of iffy. You know, because it's like.
I mean, does a guy have a lot of financial support from their parents? Are they like loaded? Because then it's maybe it's like
true, but I'm just saying like, if a girl is like not comfortable with paying, I feel like that is a red flag.
you never want to be in the position where you feel like the pressure is always put on you anytime a check comes, and it's like the person is depending on you to pay every single time. Get to a space where you can feel like it can either be mutual or there's an understanding that this time I'm gonna pay, but next time there's sort of this expectation that we either split or it's not me again.
Oh. Okay. Noted.
I feel like I just like do that with my friends though. Like sometimes like our friends will like run out of money or something. Like they can't pay an extra like $5 or something, but like it happens like every single time we go out, and I'm just like, dude, just like bring some money. Like, you know we're gonna spend some. Like, hello. But anyways, I feel like that's just a general rule, not just for dates, but like
Yeah.
Okay. So moving past like first dates and stuff, like that initial thing, whatever. When in your past, when did you know you wanted to ask a girl to be your girlfriend?
I don't think there's one answer that can be given for this.
Obviously.
Well, then give multiple answers.
I have to give multiple answers.
This is like a, what's that?
Multiple choice.
Pick all that apply.
Oh, yeah. Instead of a multiple choice,
Yeah.
you pick all that apply.
So it's like multiple choice, but I can pick multiple.
Multiple choices.
I don't want to talk about multiple choice right now.
Okay,
It gives me PTSD.
anyways.
Mox.
Is a question like when I know I want to ask them to be my girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is there like a specific
Precisely.
moment?
Actually, how many out of your 3 relationships did you ask all 3 of them?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
Yeah.
fair.
got that cleared up.
I think this is gonna make me sound pretty bad, but I did ask over text a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But I always
Few
say this
times.
thing where it's like, obviously we've been talking for a while. We've been maybe on a first date, maybe 2 dates. And it's like, I want to then initiate a further stage in the relationship. So over text, you may send them like a warning, like, oh, tomorrow.
Warning.
All right, not a warning, but like, you just give them a little bit
warning, something is about to happen.
Yeah, a signal, yes. And it's like, maybe tomorrow, I'd be interested in starting a relationship with you. And then you always wait until you're in person to make it official.
Tomorrow, I would like to date.
So you let them know, hey, I want to move to the next stage of our relationship.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a weird thing. I don't know if that's just me, but I feel like
I mean,
based
it
off how
got
much
you
texting
3
goes.
girlfriends, so like it works.
I feel like I'm really bad at reading cues. Like, I just don't know.
Yeah, no,
when
Justin,
it's gonna
don't worry.
happen.
Everybody's really bad at reading cues. If there's one thing that I've learned is nobody can read cues. Especially me. I'm the worst. I'm terrible.
Okay.
So that's why you're like, hey,
Yeah,
listen,
you know.
I need to tell
just
you
have to be
this
direct.
tomorrow.
It doesn't matter who makes the first move, but if you want something to happen, you have to take that shot. And I know that's a
Yeah.
cliche, but you have to let them know that something is happening here.
Yeah.
Because you can sit and talk for 3 hours a night for weeks and weeks and never know that the other person was interested and you're interested. If both people are afraid to say something, it's kind of like what could be isn't going to be there. And if you ask somebody and they say no, it's not like it's going to haunt you for the next years and years of your life. You'll probably get over it. You'll probably get over it in like a certain period of time. But it's worse if there could have been something and there never was.
Amen.
Yes.
So basically, just be direct.
Yeah, be direct.
But I feel like girls and bottoms.
Wait, that
are
did not
direct.
answer the question.
What was the
I
question?
said when.
When?
Yeah, like
Oh
when.
no, that was.
Oh,
it depends.
no.
There's no direct answer to that question. It depends.
Okay,
So-
not like so if not like a specific amount of time, but like when you like got closer to them, like if you talked about something specific, like
Oh, okay. I'd say probably between the first and third date. And the dates at that point don't even have to be dates. It can just be going out and hanging out with each other. But once you kind of get to know
Isn't
that
that-
person a little more,
What's the difference between, oh, we're gonna hang out, or like, we're gonna go on a date? What's the difference?
if it's a date you've already established or one person has already said, will you be my girlfriend/boyfriend? And the other person has said yes. If it's just a get together, then you're kind of just like, hey, do you want to hang out on this date? And I know that's a very common practice where a lot of people are like, do you want to go do something with me on this date? Or on this day. And it's not like a date. It's just like, let's hang out and spend some time together.
I feel like if people do that, it's like kind of implying you want it to be a date or something.
It is.
Just
It normally
because
is implying.
Just to clear things up, I think like you date before you become official. Does that make sense?
we literally talked about this. This
Yeah.
does not
like,
make
what
sense
do you
to
think?
me.
Do you like? I think like, oh, you have like, oh, let's go hang out, but this is a date, just so you know. And then 3 dates later, oh, let's become official. That's what I think. Or is that not how it works?
I think we're saying the same thing, but we're saying it in different ways.
Okay.
I think these
perfect.
get-togethers could be considered dates to some people, whereas I don't personally see them as dates. I don't think it's a date until you've actually made it official. But if you want to say that we're gonna go on a date, 3-4 dates, and then we're gonna become official, then I can see how that would be.
Okay. I don't think going back to like being direct and stuff. I don't think that many are girls direct with you.
No.
Would you like the? Is it better if a girl's like, yo?
I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea to maybe initiate that conversation or be the person to say it, but I think there is a point where if you go way too hard, way too fast, you could scare somebody off.
What is, like, for example?
Like, if you drop the L-bomb, like, having just talked to them for a few days, that might be a little, like...
Perfect segue, Hunter.
Oh, oh no.
When is it right to drop the L-bomb?
Oh, let's establish once again. How in your 3 relationships, have you dropped the L-bomb in all of them?
Yes.
Were you the first person to drop the L-bomb?
Yes.
Okay. Was there ever
I believe so.
Was there ever a time where it was the other person to drop the L-bomb?
I don't think so.
Okay. Noted. No, but like, when is it right? Because personally, I feel like I would have to wait at least like 1 to 3 months.
1 to 3? I feel like that's kind of fast.
Oh, I have to give a time frame for this?
No.
A lot of these questions, it's just like, I don't know. It'll
Okay,
happen
but, like,
when it
Let's
happens.
like try and make it quantitative.
Are we going to try to quantitate it?
Okay,
I would
Quantitative.
say...
Maybe 3 months minimum.
I don't think that's far off.
3 months minimum?
I think that's fair.
Not 1 to 3 though.
I
You
think
said 1 to 3
Okay, but one
months.
one if they're like, wow, he is so hot.
It depends
and
on the
so
person.
amazing. Illy.
It depends on the person.
Yeah, I feel like that's it. Like, it depends on the person, but I feel like if it's like, if I'm feeling it at like a good month in, but like I don't know if he's feeling it, I'd be like, and then I'd just not say it. I feel like I wouldn't be the
Have
first
you
one to
ever
say
like said it and then they didn't say it back?
No.
it. Okay, Hunter! Hey,
3
hey,
for
hey,
3
hey.
again.
I'm not... If it ever happens, I'm not looking
Okay,
forward
but
to it.
do you remember like in your wait, is your relationship now the 3rd one?
Yes.
Okay, so in the past 2 and your current, how long did it take you for each one? If you can remember.
I don't think I can remember. I think
Okay,
it
well,
was...
then let's just go off this recent
Your current.
one.
Alright. I think... Oh my god. I want to say 2 months? Maybe. So, a little bit earlier than the 3 month that you were mentioning earlier. But
How long have you guys been dating?
we will be 8 months in a few days. So...
8 months?
Yeah.
Oh, it's only been 8?
What do you mean? That's been so long.
Oh. Really? It's been 8?
8 months.
Oh. Interesting. Natasha, when would you drop the L-bomb? Or would you drop the L-bomb first?
I feel like I would not do it until he does it.
I mean, it's a pretty
Same.
big commitment. If you're getting that out there and then let that be known, then...
But I think it just
It's a big
goes back
deal.
to the direct thing.
Yeah, but
I just
Scared.
there's a balance.
It's just because I just don't like rejection.
I
I
don't
like
think anyone likes rejection, babe.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just hold on to it for too long, though. Like, in the past, I was rejected. But, like, so now I'm like, you're like, yeah, like, you forget about it. But, like, for me, I, like, hold on to it for, like, a super long time.
Yeah, I think the way you cope with rejection is also very different depending on who you are. You know? Like,
Yeah.
you said you don't really hang on to it that much, right?
No. I think I'm pretty good at letting go.
See, I'm not.
Yeah, me neither.
I cling to baggage.
Yeah, that's why I don't like
Yeah.
putting myself out there for that reason.
Yeah. You know, we have issues too. Okay. That's your next question.
Gosh. Oh, okay. So like, have you met her parents?
Yes.
Do you have like? I was thinking this because I don't know, because I always feel like, not like in dating situations, but when I go to see like my friends' parents, I always like say like the same things every time. I'm like, hey, like, how are you doing? Like, blah blah blah. Like, do you like have a, not a formula, but like a Can you like help me out? I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, like, wait, first of all, like, were you nervous to meet her parents?
Yes. Not extremely nervous, but there's definitely some.
Okay. Well, when she's like, okay, you're ready to meet the parents, the rents. Were you like planning what you were going to say beforehand?
I think I actually said, "Can I meet your parents?" And I was the one who initiated that conversation. No, I didn't plan anything beforehand. You've definitely got to improvise that sort of thing on the fly, but just be punctual, be polished, and be polite, and
Make a good first impression.
Yeah, you'll be good.
Did you like eat dinner with them?
No.
Oh,
Have you
just,
done that
like,
yet?
met
No.
them?
Are you scared too?
No.
Oh. Okay.
I don't have like a super close relationship with them or anything, and I've only seen them and talked to them a few times, but
I feel like I would be so nervous to meet the parents.
I know
Yeah.
everybody's always been nervous to meet my parents, which is kind of weird because my parents are like the most chill people in the world. They're like, "Oh, hey, you want to have dinner with us tonight?" Okay. Maybe that's a shock to some people, but they're pretty chill. I appreciate that from them.
And I just think that like if they tell me like a week in advance that I'm going to be meeting the rents, I'm going to be thinking only about the fact that okay, I have to make a good first impression. I have to be like the most amazing person they've ever met in their life. I have to have all my accomplishments like lined up to talk about, you know?
What?
I feel like I just want to be funny. I feel like parents appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't want to be awkward.
I feel like you guys are overthinking this way too much.
No, because if it gets awkward with like the parents, I'm gonna be like,
There's a solution to that.
what's
What?
the solution?
You just
How's
talk
that
to your
work?
partner and you say, "Hey, if things get awkward, could you just change the subject real fast?" And you have that. You can initiate that game plan, kind of just have it running in the background.
So you do have a game plan for it.
No, I've never done this, but I'm just thinking about this right now. And if you talk to them and you're like,
Okay.
You're just saying he just doesn't need a game plan.
"That's
Ain't
not
that
what I'm
right?
saying."
He's
Ain't that right?
Just go in with confidence and everything will be fine. Plus, it's not the worst thing in the world to make mistakes. Everybody's always going to make mistakes, and you learn from those mistakes. Hopefully, you don't make them again in the future.
Amen. Amen. I say amen to that. I feel like parents is a big step.
It is a
right?
big step, yeah. You should be pretty sure. I'd say album at least
Before.
yeah.
Hmm.
Parents is a pretty big step.
Really interesting. When would I let my partner see my parents? The marriage.
Marriage.
Honeymoon
At the
phase.
wedding.
At the wedding, I'll be like, hey, so this is the first time y'all meeting. Maybe that. When would you let your
That
your
was
parents-
actually my parents though. But
Yeah, but when would you let your parents
oh
meet
my
your
God.
significant other? Your parents would be so chill about it.
I feel like they meet them like early on. Like I don't know why. I just feel that. I don't know. I don't really know.
Yeah, I feel like after L bomb is fine.
Yes.
As soon as they say the L bomb, I'll be like, okay, time to meet the rents. Let's go.
Time, like
Yeah.
right after.
Yeah, let's go. Drop me off, and you can say hi. Next question. Are you a jealous person?
I have had moments of jealousy in the past, but
Okay.
as a whole, I do not think that I'm a very
Okay.
jealous person.
Okay, so but, how do you feel about your girlfriend having close guy friends? Because I know some guys are like, oh, why is she talking to him? Like, why are they always together? Like, bro.
Like intimidated.
Like, what's
Are
happening?
you?
Well, you definitely can't try to control the other person. They're going to live
That's
their
what I'm
life
saying.
and they're going to do what they want to do.
Period.
But at the same time, there are definitely some things where it's like, if it gets to a point where it's they're spending more time than you're spending with her, then that could be an issue. Or if they're like super
okay.
close and like always like
Mm-hmm.
together, that would be. I think that would raise red flags. I don't know. I'll let you know when it happens, but
Hopefully that's never.
Okay, but what I'm saying is like, I just don't like it when a person in a relationship thinks that like the only person you can spend time with is me.
Oh, I agree with that.
I think that's just like toxic. Like
It is
let them
toxic.
live their life a little. And having like friends, and like you can't have other friends besides me. Is like kind of like sometimes like the energy people put out. You know.
Mm-hmm. Bad energy.
Bad energy.
Their chakras aren't aligned. Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I guess it's not a segue, but like, are there like any cons to being in a relationship?
Answer honestly.
Be very careful.
Yeah, this is where I get in trouble, isn't it?
No.
No.
Listen.
You could, but if you're smart about it.
Like
Be smart about it. Thank
Yes.
you. That's tremendous advice.
Yeah, make a game plan right now. We'll give you a few seconds to think about it.
Now you can't go on the fly.
We're filling up air time.
As Hunter thinks about it.
Yeah,
My brain is empty right now.
Just
I'm not
think
thinking
about
it.
think about the cons.
The cons?
It doesn't have to be from your current one. There might
Actually,
be no
any
cons.
like bad experiences
Yeah.
from before
Mhm.
that you've learned now.
Or like if you were to give me and Natasha advice about being in a relationship and be like, there are gonna be some downs. What are the downs you're gonna warn us about?
The downs will be different for every relationship, and
True.
they can also be different in terms
Okay.
of severity.
Okay,
Same with
true.
every
Yep.
single
Mhm.
question
Yep.
that's been asked
Yep.
today.
Sure.
But I would say one of the things that we mentioned on earlier is if the other person becomes financially dependent on you, that could be a con. If the other person makes you feel uncomfortable in social situations, so if they're super
What does that
obnoxious,
mean?
like if someone's super obnoxious on the MRT, and you're like a quiet, composed person and you want to be to yourself, and they just start yelling, or they're like being like all over the place,
Mhm.
and they embarrass you, they could do that just to embarrass you, to like get under the skin, to try to be funny. But I see how that could be a major con of a relationship.
Is that? I feel like that's a you thing.
Yeah.
Is it? Have you
Of
had?
course,
Has
it's a
that
you thing.
happened to you?
Yeah.
That's kind of specific.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I'm
was like-
very obnoxious.
I was
I'm
like-
on the MRT and the person's really quiet and
The
reserved,
MRT is
and the
just like
other person is
it's
super
the
loud.
default social situation for like feeling uncomfortable is the MRT.
Oh my god, you're evil.
I'm evil.
Yeah.
Okay.
What other people tell me is especially like, it's definitely a time commitment. Like people say like, one of the cons, the cons, I'll put that in air quotation marks, is that like, you have to spend like a lot of time with the person, and sometimes, I know some people tell me that like they kind of feel like there isn't enough space in between them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So feeling an obligation to hang out with
Yeah.
the significant
Or
other.
they're like get a little bit clingy.
It can be. Clingy is another thing, but there can definitely be. Maybe they want to do something and they're really gunning for it, and you're not maybe somebody who'd want to do that on that day, or you've got other things going on, and yet you still feel like they're entitled to being able to spend time with you. I see how that could be a con. I don't think it's a massive issue if somebody's going to control all of your time. That's definitely an indicator of toxic relationship, but it could definitely be a con in air quotation marks.
Okay, this is our final question, and probably one of the most important
all the money.
questions. So if you get it wrong, you're gonna hear about it from not only us.
But not only us, but
You know who.
I just don't want hell to rain down on me.
Okay. Ooh, wait. I don't know which one's the juicier one. Okay.
Just ask both.
okay. So final two questions.
Final two questions. You can answer both really easily. Number one, do you think relationships are overrated? Number two, in all your experiences, what do you think is the most important part about being in a relationship?
No, relationships are not overrated. Being in a relationship can be a very amazing experience. That genuine connection is definitely something that I think a lot of people should strive for. I don't think you should force a relationship, because then it's going to turn into something that you definitely didn't want in the beginning. But
How
if
do
you just
force a relationship?
like if you're just really pressing into somebody, or you go out into the world thinking today's the day I'm going to get a boyfriend or girlfriend, you can't have that mindset approach to it. You can't always be like looking for it constantly.
On the lookout.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay to like say like, oh, maybe that person's cute, or oh, I could do something with this person. But if you're always like, I need to find a girlfriend today, 24 hours, clock's ticking, I think that could lead to a more negative relationship than positive relationship. Everything that I've been involved in has always been not accidental, but it was almost like out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the second question again? I can't remember.
What is the most important part about being in a relationship?
Like
one big
there's
advice.
so many things.
What is the biggest advice you have
The
for?
biggest piece of advice?
Yeah.
I'd say when it comes to a relationship, the number one word that comes to mind is respect. And it's not only respect for your partner, but it's respect for yourself. It's respect to the parents, and it's a respect for their time, your time, and everything that comes with being in a relationship.
So basically everybody that's involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Respect.
Respect. Okay. I mean, for me, I feel like a lot of people tell me it's a big like communication thing. Like if you aren't able to actually talk with the person and not like be hesitant to say anything, that's like an issue. Like, right? I feel like a lot of my friends who are in relationships, something like all their issues stem from the fact that they can't really
I mean,
talk.
that is a struggle, but also like just it's a struggle, but not like I think the respect thing is important, like
Yeah.
a key takeaway. But
Yeah.
communication is definitely a problem.
Communication,
for people.
respect.
I would agree that communication is definitely a problem. If there's limited communication or someone doesn't feel comfortable to speak out, I think
Mhm.
that could dwindle and kill a relationship within a few weeks. But I think if there's no respect, you can kill it like that. That'll be the end.
So respect is more fatal.
Respect is definitely more fatal.
Mhm.
But if done right, respect can also be the key to a successful relationship.
But okay, I think that's all the time we have today. I'm really hungry.
My stomach
my
growled
stomach is
during this.
growling. But thank you so much, Hunter, for your
Thank you
For
for
your
relationship
having me.
advice. Hopefully we can get a man's now, but if we don't, we'll blame it on you. If you would like to be updated about the podcast, you can follow us on Instagram at offtherails.pod. If you want to follow us personally, you can follow us at Justin.Tran with 2 T's in the Justin.
And at Natasha Roche, it's my name.
Yeah. Hunter, do you have any last words?
Last words before we.
No, I think I'm good for right now. Hopefully hell doesn't rain down on me when I go talk to other people, but I don't know. I don't think I said anything that would be super offensive.
Sure. Okay.
We'll
Thank you
see
so
about
much.
that.
Bye.
Bye.